As with most of my videos, this one is not well planned out, but comes from a thought I had. And it's because over there I see a stairway that goes up onto a roof. And in the past, I've had imaginings about a particular part of the land where I already know I don't want a lot of trees. Wonder why I'm belching. No one knows. It's a really cool part of land where there's a whole big part of land uphill and a little part of land downhill. And I generally want to have shorter trees where they are. Now, in the past, I murdered all those trees. I cut them all down. But now it's a forest again because forests grow back. And that's the long-term thinking about forests. It's okay to cut down trees. Just, it's surrounded by trees, so it just reseeds automatically. I didn't have to replant it. Anyway, back to the cool idea. There could be mixed in with this particular part of the land levels of raised concrete platforms to create microclimates below them and stairs that go up and down all over the place, ramps too. Stairs are difficult for some people. It's nice to make things accessible. Ramps have to be at a very low inclination angle. So anyway, but the point is to just like go apeshit nuts with the creativity possibilities of a space that mixes at the right percentage level of up-downness, covered from the sun, protected from the sun, gathering rain into spots that have less sun than normal for that place to grow shaded plants, that have places underneath it that have fires, or places that are heated with evacuated tube solar hot water heaters, which if you watch my videos, I'm fascinated with as a way to produce heat. But also, despite that even ever existing, maybe that won't exist in the future, but just ways to suck the sun in, so it's all designed to be developed to get the early morning sun and the heat of the day sun, and just this weird mix. And I'm not even thinking about this as housing as much as like this amazing up-down park place. A place that, I don't know, briefly I thought it'd be cool to play paintball or something on it. I'm actually not a big fan of paintball because I don't like paintball waste. You could play laser tag there. But just imagining one space, and it's a bunch of acres, so it's not a small space, that is essentially designed for play and really 24/7. Spots for campfires, spots for everything, and the spots for housing can be uphill and somewhere else. And you could mix housing into it too. There could be people who are involved with like making it all run and be correct. And I don't know, it's just a crazy idea. It's like a sculpture of a building. Not made for sleeping in, not made for commercial activity. It could even have animals in it. I don't know if that would fit in well or not. And I'm not sure, it has slope, right? Slope's very important. It has view, which view is very important. People love view. When I was a kid, I thought I'd never own a place with view. Now I own a lot of places with a lot of view. And my goal is to maximize those views because I don't want to think like I did when I was a kid. I don't want to think I'll never own a view. I want all these people to have access to this amazing view. And of course, within that, people like to eat stuff, so you'd have places that made food. So it's a weird, I don't know, I've had this idea for a long time about how can I use this particular super valuable space that has some limitations to it and other reasons why I would think differently about it. But I love the maze-like idea of it and the discovery idea of it, that you don't know what's over there. And you know, you see movies or you've been in places where they have tiny corridors to go to other places, and I like the idea of kind of semi-secret spots that, and there's so much of it that you can't even learn it all. And I guess you would have to include housing. And that housing would be for people who provide a service there of some kind. It's a big space. You could have 50 people living within it, probably in simple, small spaces, who could be doing things that make it be really cool. You could have cool lighting areas. You could have rooms with prisms where the sun enters through it and becomes rainbows. And I think of concrete because it's solid, and you build it once, and theoretically it lasts forever. It doesn't. Rebar is the problem, and so we can look into like basalt rebar and steel rebar, and you know, also like, is there an upper level of like polycarbonate that makes the concrete be protected for now, and or is there glass greenhouses all along the top of it? That because we have all this space that's dug into the earth that's protected by levels against the sun, do we have the top of it have greenhouses that make it slightly too hot? And then do we have LED lights until civilization falls? We can still have LED lights, and do those light the under part of it? And I mentioned fires, you know, deep within it, do we have campfires, and the smoke then is planned for how it goes up through that? And does it heat other spaces even? Is it being channeled through like tubes of concrete or metal that heat other upper spaces? I don't know. But it's a weird ass idea. And I haven't really had exactly that vision of it as a sculpture, as a human-related sculpture, where the entire thing is designed not for housing, not for business, not for one thing or the other, but as a strange sculpture would live within that could have, I mean, concrete is a really flexible material, and so you could build like anything you want into it. It could be the most magically bizarre space, and it could be big enough in the space I'm imagining where it could have like strange sculptures built into the thing, and you could even have doors that open or close, and so that one person's experience within it is not always the same as before, and you could change the art within it. Now there's some things you can't change as easily, and that's plants. And I want to include trees within it. I want to have trees that grow up from protected land within it that's warmer, it's protected from cold, and they grow up and they have leaves above it, so they shoot out through the concrete, and this will allow us to grow trees that would not grow anywhere else. It's like the ultimate supreme microclimate. And I think of citrus, because citrus is a little bit hard to grow here, but anything else also, like baobab trees. I don't know what a baobab tree is, but I've seen pictures. But any kind of weird ass shit that isn't invasive in any way, we could grow some crazy stuff here out of this sculpture. There could be vines that grow up that wouldn't normally grow here. And I have a particular affinity for things that wouldn't normally grow here. But we could also just pick some that are really cool, like jasmine, because they smell really well, or something. You know, and make it kid-friendly, adult-friendly, just an amazing playground inside of a sculpture. What a weird idea. I love it. Oh, and we could make special tunnels under it for people who are staff, for people who are actually living there. Although some people could come in and be staff for the day, but some people might be functioning a lot of the day except when they're sleeping and like to fill a particular role. You know, maybe they're a character within it. Maybe they're cast as a character and they have a place to crash, and then they've got their front stage of where they do what they do. I don't know. Tell me what I'm not thinking about. There's probably a lot of cool ideas you could add to that.